Hi, everyone, and welcome to Who to the Curve. And this is a Robert Ruiz rant. And today we're going to be talking about the art of gaslighting, a masterclass in reality manipulation. Gaslighting, that timeless art of bending reality, twisting perceptions, and making someone doubt their own sanity. It's the psychological equivalent of a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat, only the hat is on fire and the rabbit is actually a figment of your imagination. Let's dive into this delightful, ethically dubious craft with a wink, a nod, and a generous helping of sarcasm. Well, let's start with the basics of gaslighting, a guide for aspiring manipulators. First things first, let's get one thing straight. Gaslighting is not for the faint of heart. It's an advanced skill that requires a flair for the dramatic and a complete disregard for moral integrity. Think of it as the dark arts of psychological warfare, where your end goal is to leave your target questioning everything from their memory to their existence. Fun, right? Well, let's go to the steps. Step one, establishing trust and authority. The cornerstone of any successful gaslighting endeavor is trust. You need to position yourself as a beacon of reliability and authority. After all, who would doubt the words of someone they completely trust? It's like being a wolf in sheep's clothing, but with more emotional trauma. To achieve this, start by being the perfect friend, partner, or colleague. Be there in times of need or for sage advice, and generally act like you have their best interests at heart. Think of it as the long con. You're setting the stage for a grand performance. Step two, sprinkle in the doubt. Once you build a fortress of trust, it's time to introduce the cracks. Begin subtly. Misplace their keys, then find them in the most obvious place. Are you sure you didn't leave them there? You'll say with a bemused smile. The goal here is to make them start questioning their own actions. Then ramp it up. Deny conversations that took place or insist on events that never happened. Remember when you said that you didn't like that restaurant? You'll casually mention, even though they've never uttered such words. It's all about eroding their confidence in their own memory. Step three, the big leagues, full on reality manipulation. Now that you've got them doubting themselves, it's time to pull out the big guns. This is where the true artistry of gaslighting shines. Start contradicting their perception of reality. If they say it's raining, insist that it's sunny. If they recall a happy event, remind them of how miserable they were. The key here is consistency and conviction. Say it enough times and they'll start to believe it. For extra flair, introduce third parties. Get friends or colleagues to back up your versions of events. There's nothing quite like a chorus of voices to drown out the truth. Step four, the emotional roller coaster. Emotions are your best friends in this twisted game. Use them to your advantage. Oscillate between affection and coldness, praise and criticism. One moment you're their biggest supporter, the next you're their harshest critic. The aim here is to keep them off balance, never quite sure of where they stand. For added drama, throw in some gaslighting classic like "you're too sensitive" or "you're overreacting." These little gems are sure to keep them questioning their own emotional responses. Step five, the grand finale, total control. By now, you should have your target thoroughly disoriented. They're questioning their memory, their perceptions, and their emotions. It's time for the peace, the resistance, complete domination. At this stage, you can convince them of just about anything. Want them to believe the sky is green? Easy. Need them to think they're the problem in every situation? Done. This is where the true mastery of gaslighting comes into play. You've successfully rewritten their reality, and now you wield an unparalleled level of influence over them. Congratulations, you've completed your transformation into a master manipulator. The humorous side of psychological torture. Now, let's take a moment to step back and appreciate the sheer absurdity of gaslighting. It's like watching a slapstick comedy where the protagonist keeps slipping on the same banana peel, only the banana peel is their own perception of reality. The irony is deliciously thick. Here you are, the puppet master pulling the strings of someone's mind, all while maintaining a facade of innocence. Imagine the sheer comedic value in convincing someone that they've misplaced their own sanity. It's almost like a dark sitcom where every punchline is a mental breakdown. You could even argue that gaslighting is the ultimate prank, one that keeps on giving long after the initial joke has been played. An ethical disclaimer. Of course, it's crucial to remember that gaslighting is, in reality, deeply harmful and abusive. This session of Who Threw the Curve was dripping in sarcasm and humor. I aim to highlight the absurdity and cruelty of such behavior rather than endorse it. In the real world, gaslighting can lead to severe emotional and psychological damage, and it could never be trivialized or taken lightly. It's a behavior that is firmly planted in the realm of manipulation and abuse. Those who practice it cause real harm. Now, let's talk about the punchline of gaslighting. Why is it not actually funny? At the end of the day, while we can mock the ridiculousness of gaslighting as a concept, it's critical to understand that it's no joke. The humor in this serves to underscore the irrationality and destructiveness of gaslighting. It's a reminder that manipulating someone's senses of reality is not only unethical, but also profoundly damaging. So while we can chuckle at the idea of convincing someone that up is down and left is right, let's remember that in the real world, such actions have serious consequences. The true humor lies in absurdity of expecting such a behavior to ever be acceptable or funny. Now, let's talk about a better approach: authentic relationships. Instead of engaging in the dark arts of gaslighting, why not try the revolutionary concept of honesty and respect in relationships? Imagine a world where communication is clear and trust is built on a genuine interactions rather than manipulation. What a novel idea. It's almost as if treating people with dignity and kindness leads to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Who would have a thought? In this utopia of sincerity, there's no need for mental gymnastics of gaslighting. Conversations are straightforward, memories are respected, and emotions are validated. It's a place where people can feel secure in their perception and confident in their reality. It's a world where the only gas involved is the one that fills up your car, not the one that clouds your mind. In the end, while the art of gaslighting may sound like a twisted form of entertainment, it's anything but. It's a manipulated, harmful practice that has no place in healthy relationships. This session, with its tongue-in-cheek approach, aims to shine a light on the ridiculousness and cruelty of gaslighting, reminding us all of the importance of integrity and respect in our interactions with others. So, here's to a world free of gaslighting, where reality is respected, trust is genuine, and humor doesn't come at the expense of someone's sanity. After all, isn't life complicated enough without adding mind games into the mix? Let's leave the gaslighting to the past and embrace a future of authenticity and kindness. Now, that's a reality worth believing in. Thank you for listening to Who Threw the Curve. Don't forget to like us, share us, and subscribe. Thanks.